Okay, now we're up to verse 7. I'm sorry, the seventh reading for Parsha Shlach, which is in the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 27. But if an individual sins inadvertently, so if I make a mistake by accident, he shall offer up a she-goat in its first year as a sin offering. What if it's a woman that makes a sin? I mean, what? Is this only for men? Only men make mistakes? We're the ones who make intentional mistakes, right? Okay. And the Cohen shall atone for the erring soul which sinned inadvertently before the Lord, so as to atone on his behalf, and it shall be forgiven him. See, this is what I was just saying. This sounds like without the Cohen, even if I give up the sheep, this she goat, in its first year, I still need the Cohen to atone for my mistake. One law shall apply to anyone who sins inadvertently from the native born of the children of Israel and the proselyte who resides among them. But if a person should act high-handedly, whether he is a native born or proselyte, he is blaspheming the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from among its people. For he has scorned the word of the Lord and violated his commandment, and that soul shall be utterly cut off, for its iniquity is upon it. So if you make a mistake on purpose, doesn't sound like you get a second chance. When the children of Israel were in the desert, they found a man gathering wood on the Shabbat day. Those who found him gathering wood presented him before Moses and Aaron and before the entire congregation. So we see that there's one person doing this, but many people saw him do it. And we know from the Talmud, you need to have at least two witnesses who have to warn you before anything can happen. So those who found him gathering wood presented him before Moses and Aaron and before the entire congregation. They put him under guard, since it was not specified what was to be done with him. Another example that not all the Torahs were, not all the laws, not all the results were given at Har Sinai. The Lord said to Moses, "This man shall be put to death. The entire congregation shall pelt him with stones outside the camp." Now, wait a minute. If this guy was over 20 years old, and between 20 and 60, he was going to die anyways. He already had a death penalty on him. If he's over 60, then maybe, we don't know how old he is. Now, I do know, like we're going to learn later, there's a midrash. There's 5 daughters come up. When he started dividing the land of Israel, the 5 daughters say, "Hey, our father died, and we need to get a portion of Israel." And that father was this guy. Those daughters were the daughter of this guy who died here. And it wasn't their fault. They didn't do any sins. Their father sinned. So that happens later in the Torah. But anyways, verse 35. The Lord said to Moses, "That man shall be put to death. The entire congregation shall pelt him with stones outside the camp." So the entire congregation took him outside the camp, and they pelted him to death with stones, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Oh my God! What are we doing? Now we don't know. So when we're praying to return the Sanhedrin, we're not going to be stoning anybody to death. Maybe we're going to have lashes. This whole stoning people to death. I mean, they make fun of it in Monty Python, The Life of Brian, but it seems like it's coming from here. It's coming straight from the Torah. I mean, how am I supposed to live? I mean, how are people supposed to? How is it supposed to This is so problematic. This is so hard. Okay, so the Torah is Harif, has very, very strict punishments. Okay. Verse 37, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel, and you shall say to them that they shall make for themselves fringes on the corner of their garments throughout their generations. They shall fix a thread of blue sky wool on the fringe of each corner. These shall be fringes for you, and you shall see it. You'll remember all the commandments of the Lord to perform them, and you shall not wander after your hearts and after your eyes, after which you are going astray. So you're gonna have what we call tzitzit. So you're gonna make tzitzit, wear it. You have to have a four-corner garment, and to any four-corner garment, you have to attach these threads. And these threads are to remind you to do the commandments, because clearly hearing the commandments and seeing them black and white and being taught them, it just isn't enough. You need to have an actual physical reminder to do the commandments, because if you don't do the commandments, there's dire consequences. Verse 40. So that you shall remember and perform all my commandments, and you shall be holy to your God. I am the Lord your God who took you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord your God. So it's not enough to be told this in the Bible directly. It's not enough to be taught it by the rabbis. It's not enough to have the Mishnah and to have the Gemaras, and not enough to have Sepharim on halachas. We also have to have physical reminders, tzitzit, mezuzah. We have to have tefillin on our arms and on our head and our arms. We have to have physical reminders. We build sukkahs to remember that we were taken out of Mitzrayim. A lot of things we do are to remember Yetziat Mitzrayim. Because it's like clearly the words aren't enough. Being told isn't enough. Being warned isn't enough. Because people have free will. The kids are people of free will. So that ends this book, this 7 reading of the book of Shlach, of the Parsha of Shlach. And until we meet again.